Well, hello everybody. Welcome to 10 Count Ranch. I was going to do a little video tonight on knives. I got a few knife projects I've been working on I was going to share with you. I'm just in my basement right now, and then I'll kind of start the video, and then I'll go outside and we'll go feed some cows and check out these knives on the net wrap on the hay bales. So I'll flip the camera around and kind of show you what I got going. So you guys watch the channel, you know I love pawn shops. So I got 3 knives on the table right here. All 3 of these knives I bought at a pawn shop. So this is an old school, old timer Schrade, and this is an exact copy of a Buck 110. But this is an old knife, and I thought that the only reason I bought it is the handle. I think it's really cool. It looks like a maple wood handle. I think it's just really pretty. I think it's just neat. You know, you buy these knives at pawn shops, a lot of times they come out of a estate sale or something, and I got this knife pretty cheap. I got this knife. This is also an old timer, and that is just the most unique folding knife I've ever seen. I've never seen one of those like that, and so I just bought it because I thought it would look cool. Also the Schrade old timer. So I bought those 2 from the same pawn shop, same time. About a year later, I bought this one, and this one's a Benchmade, and this knife sells brand new for about $200, maybe a little bit north of 200. I got this for like 30 bucks. You can see it's not in perfect shape, but the blade was in pretty good shape. It was just super dull. So we'll talk about sharpening knives. So when I sharpen a knife, I use this Work Sharp. This is the Ken Onion version. And I'll tell you, this guy is awesome. So here's the belts. Coarse, medium, fine, and then the leather strop type belt. And I just barely put this on, thanks to one of my great YouTube viewers kind of led me on how to do this. But this thing is great. There's a lot of knife sharpening videos out there, so I'm not going to do it. But what I've done is, so this Benchmade, this sucker was so dull you could barely cut your finger with it. So I went through the coarse, medium, fine, and then the strop process. But so this blade, or excuse me, this belt turns this way, clockwise. So I'm going to run this strop across there like this. And then if you go this way, you're going to cut into that leather. So what I do is I go this way, then I turn it around, and then go that way. And this knife is pretty dang sharp. I'll probably set the tripod up, and then I'll get some newspaper out and show you how sharp this guy is. Okay, so what I do for testing how sharp a knife is, normally I'll just take a little hair off my arm. I don't know how you guys can see that, but it come right off. But I about shaved all the hair off, and it kind of caused my arm to kind of rash up. All right, guys, got my trusty backhoe started up. You guys have seen this around the farm a little bit. That's a 1971 John Deere 300 backhoe. This old girl is solid. I mean, we get a few oil leaks here and there, but man, I love this old backhoe. Feeding cows and stuff around the farm, it's awesome. All right, guys, well, I got all my girlfriends around me here. It's funny how friendly those cows are once we get a bale of hay in front of them. But so I got my knife here. I'll try to flip the camera around and just show you guys how this cuts. So I'm cutting this net wrap instead of twine. And the net wrap is very weird. It is so fine. It's almost like hairs. It's just a really super fine woven material. I mean, if you guys have ever cut a hay string, you get a hay string under tension. Man, you touch it with a dull knife and it cuts. This stuff's a little bit different. I'll try to show you with one hand. So I got my Benchmade knife here, and so this stuff is, they call it cover edge, and I don't know how well you can see that, but it comes around the edge, and I don't really like it, honestly. Next year I'm gonna try to buy, they call it edge to edge, and because this cover edge, it makes a really nice bale, but it's a hassle. It's not worth the headache. So that knife does a pretty dang good job in there. See, it's, hopefully you guys can see that. That's a pretty clean cut. If that knife is dull, see, I just dragged that across there one time. If that knife's dull, then you get all these little fine hairs that's not cut all the way through. And it's a headache, so shoot, I'm pretty pleased with the $30 Benchmade. See if we can get the bell to roll down the hill for us. All right, we're about done. So I've started spreading this hay out a little more and unrolling them bales. I used to try to feed in mangers and that worked okay, but the dang cows just tore the mangers up. So this is something new. I don't feed a lot of hay, and this is something new for me this year to try to scatter this hay out. I'll flip around and show you the other bale I did. So that's where I laid the last bale out. See how clean they cleaned that up, or how slick they did? They didn't really lay on it. They didn't waste any. Man, if you just leave it in a pile, they end up laying on most of it. But yeah, they did a really good job cleaning that up. So yeah, look at this old girl. You don't think she got a baby in her belly? Look at them ribs sticking out. All right, guys, well, we're gonna wrap it up for the night. Just wanted to kind of share my knife story with you. Tell you, if you guys are looking for quality knives, and I'm a pawn shop junkie, you guys know that, hopefully from my Badlands Ballistics channel. Buy a lot of guns from the pawn shop. But anyway, not a bad place to find knives too. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.